You know what's funny? I find that a lot of people that don't want to be talked about, they do want to be talked about. You want to be talked about for the right things, just not for the wrong things, right? So people will, they won't say certain things, they won't do certain things out of fear of being talked about for it, right? But they're not living authentically. And that's the worst thing you could do to yourself, is handicap yourself to not live authentically because you are afraid of what someone else might say. When in reality, you want people to be able to speak on those authentic things that are true to you. You want people, when they think of you, to think of what you believe, to think of those things that you stand on, to think of the little quirks that you do, right? It's just who you are. A lot of people are not saying certain things, not speaking up, not doing those things that first come to mind in certain moments because they don't want to be talked about. They think they're being extra. They think they're just, you know what I mean? They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be heard. They don't want to be talked about. That's a lie. You do want to be talked about for the right things. You want to be talked about for the right things. But let me ask you this. If it's authentically you, how is it not the right thing? See, if you're going to be teased, and people are going to they're going to talk about you either way, whether you like it or not. They're either going to talk about you or they're not going to talk about you at all, which is worse. Let's be real. If they're not talking about you at all, damn, like, do you even have a standing, like, in society? For real, though. For real, though. Like, on some real shit. I know, like, people like to stay out of the cut, but you as a person, when you mean something to somebody, they talk about you. Okay? It just makes sense. When you hold value in someone's mind, heart, it don't matter, you're going to be talked about. So what comes next is, what do you want them talking about? Do you want them talking about the facade of a person that you are presenting to them? Because they're going to talk about you. Do you want them to... And, you know, some people do put on a front in this life. Some people do put on a front, and that's what they want to be known by. Which is really weird, because how are you authentic if you want to be known as someone that you're not? You know, and this is specifically for the people that they want to be authentic, but they're putting on fronts for the world because they don't want to be talked about. You're going to be talked about, but you know what? The front is going to be talked about. And God forbid somebody see through your front and now you being called fake, because we know that's not you. So, you know what I mean? To bring this back to the point I'm trying to make is, if you're going to be talked about, which you are, if you're going to be talked about, at least let it be for something that is true to you. You know, if you're going to be talked about, at least let it be something that is genuine for you. Okay, like, when you don't say certain things because you're afraid of confrontation, when you don't say certain things because you don't know how to continue on with the conversation, like you every time you think of something to say, every time you think of something to do and you don't do that, you're just killing your own self-esteem. You're the person in you, that passionate person in you, the one that's unique, the one that's authentic, yourself, literally. You kill it every time you say, no, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that everybody's authentic self is the best person in the world. Never would say that, because I know a lot of people who are authentically themselves and they're just trash at life. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, I can never, ever, ever be mad that they're being their true self, because that's who they are. I have to respect it. That's who they are. Now, if they switch up on me and that's who they show, that's confusing. That's confusing territory, my brother. But yeah, moral of the story, once again, dialing it back in. I go off on tangents all the time, you'll see. But yeah, if you're gonna be teased, at least let it be something that actually applies to you. Don't be getting teased out here for things that oh, you'll embarrass yourself. Don't be out here getting teased for things that aren't even really you. You go home at night and you take off this mask, and the person who had the mask on was being teased. They don't even know who you are. You know, be authentic. And the only way to be authentic is to show all the parts of yourself. And I don't, like I said, everybody's not a perfect person, but if you want to be authentic, shorty, you're going to learn how to be you. You're going to learn to say and do the things that you have to say. That's just what comes with being authentic, whether people like it or not. That's not really your business if they like it or not. Real talk. Whether if they like what you have to say or not, that's not your business, especially when your goal is to be authentic. Okay? So, I guess I'll talk about the aftermath, clearing the aftermath of being authentic in another video, but I just wanted to get on here and say, like, if you're someone who values authenticity, but you keep yourself from being authentic, you're killing a part of yourself every time you say no to being authentic. And you just got to be careful, because you're silencing yourself, and that's a dangerous thing to do to somebody who wants to be authentic. All right, I'm signing off. This is JANAE. So add me, or what is it called? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm gonna be posting videos on there. And also add me on Instagram. Do other things. I'll put the links in the bio. Just find a way to be able to hear me out, because I speak from the heart, and usually what I have to say, it applies to not just my life, but I find that when I'm speaking from the heart, someone else needed to hear that. And when I have something on my mind, I'm working on putting it on camera, writing it down so I remember it, but not just letting it just go, as a thought that I forget in my mind. Because I think part of my assignment is, when I do get these thoughts, is to be helpful, is to be, practice servitude and give it to other people. Yeah. And I'll also be showing y'all some of the stages of my music process. I'm working on a few things right now. And I would like to invite y'all in so that you can see it too. So subscribe to YouTube channel, turn on the notifications so you can also see when I post, when I'm posting, so you can be one of the first people that is commenting. And I really, really appreciate all the support, any and all support, for real. Yeah, any and all support I get, I really appreciate it, because it shows me that y'all are listening. And those comments that, you point out something I said specifically, like, I love those, because it means, like, I had your attention, at least, so comment, like, subscribe, and share. Also share it to somebody who might need to hear this. It might be pertinent to somebody needs to hear this, probably. So send it out, show that person who might need to hear it. And yeah, I'll get back with y'all.